Eyes up. Revealing area.
Cover going out.
Cypher removed. 3 down. Cutting their vision.
Here.
Because this is one of the bigger differences between this game and some of the older and some of the other tac shooters is the viability of the LMG, the Ares and the Odin. We see actually purchased in these games. Is this a real strat or what?
1,600 is the cost, right, for the Ares, and so
Yeah,
it's, the fact that it's so cheap makes it completely viable. And there is a difference in how much a frag is awarded here in Valorant. And so all kills are 200, regardless of what weapon you use. In Counter-Strike, when you got a kill with the pump, it was 100. With other guns, it was 300, and then of course on upward for knives, pistol kills, stuff like that. So when all eliminations are awarded the same, why not use something like the Ares, of course? If you're holding angles as a defender, having that extra rate of fire, being able to just ADS and hold that angle and get that increased rate of fire is absolutely nuts. So you can hold on to this for, honestly, as long as you want.
we'll see how it works out, but right there, the 4-piece. Don't need an LMG for that one.
This should do.
Good old-fashioned Vandal will take care of it. Up 4-zip. Dominguez Hills finding themselves walking up said hill. Irvine, on the other hand, I mean, Jamerson, this is your alma mater. You spoke highly of it before, and they certainly seem to be performing.
They're definitely showing up, and names like Looter, very veteran in the esports scene. He played on the highly celebrated UCI Overwatch team. Never really able to get championships, but there we go. Looter answering, but it is answered back by Bum Tickley. I didn't want to have to say his name throughout the cast, but there we go. That's the first one.
Walls up at B. Very quickly take it down. There's that change to the way Sage has worked out. Drone going in. And a little bit of a flash here. Nibbler, though, from behind. Not one, not two. Switching it up for three. And the fourth. Can he get it? Triple already on the line. One red, two green. Bang, it's four. And Nibbler chomping down on CSUDH.
That's what I was talking about. The proactive nature of the defense here on this map. It's just that if you're playing the A site, it's so easy for you to be able to get that flank, go straight into mid. And this is what Dominguez Hills' third or fourth attempt at pushing up mid, and so he's able to do that for free. I love this adjustment. Two-man, even though you can just run the Cypher if you wanted to over here on A by himself, Nibbler being able to get on the action. We're seeing how hard he can frag.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a lot of individual gunplay coming out here for UCI, which is really important for them. Now 5-0, they're about halfway through. Obviously, 6 or 7 is exactly that point, but they've got enough under their belts, enough different approaches that they're generally should be confident.
Life is a responsibility. We're here to save each other.
This whole thing, how do I know it's not another game?
We'll find a way forward together.
I never slept with the captain before.
I recommend it. Brace yourselves. Ready, Admiral? Engage.
In what they're trying to do, no matter what the situation. So I think we can see more aggressive play coming out from UCI as Dominguez Hills just hasn't been able to stop the train.
Yeah, we're seeing a rotation coming out from UCI right now. Nibbler going all the way across site over to C now, throwing out his smokes along the way. So he's making his presence known, but Dominguez Hills have now pushed up 4-man over to short.
One goes down already as Looter's waiting. There's 3, but Mr. BT takes him out. 3 for 1. So a good look here coming out from UCI, although neutralized after the fact. 2 players left for the Spike team. So has got it, and he's rotating the long way, but he's going to be met up by Zig. Oh, BT takes him down.
Yeah, Ziggy D not being able to win that. I thought he should have, especially with how mid control was lost for Dominguez Hills. The player pushed all the way up through garage, but Platinum finally able to get that kill with that LMG. Bum Tickley is on the site, but wow, he just goes straight down. It's going to be 6 in a row for UCI.
That was a play, and that's one of the big things about those LMGs, and that we didn't mention, is that their penetration rate's really high. So all of the guns are going to have one of 3 penetration rates: low, medium, high, and the fact that the areas in the Odin are high allow you to get what we just saw. I mean, he was hiding behind the box.
And look at that KDA, by the way. We also got a chance to look at the scoreboard there. Nibbler was on 11 and 0, and I believe 3. So almost involved in every single frag throughout this. Now Looter playing aggressively again, but he only trades for 1.
That's huge. That's a big difference. Unfortunately, the other big dog on UCI just comes out and takes one down anyway. 4 players for the team leaders. 3 across the way for the attackers. A seems to be the push still as players slowly making their way. The hesitation is working.
Dominguez Hills doesn't know how to play against the Omen and Cypher on the A site, and so there's a lot of hesitance and resistance to go over there. They're feigning that they want to try for an A push, but especially after how that pistol round and then the following round went, they haven't tried their best to try and make it in so far. Now, again, it's going to be another mid push.
Irvine has been extremely patient, and this is usually where things can go awry if you start playing over aggressive in these moments. About 30 seconds left. The attackers do have 3 players just walking up mid. There is 1 defender behind that spot to the left. So UCI have to be careful here. There they are. Shot him down. 2 players left on site. 1's dead. 1 player left trying to plant. Up on top is Nibbler. And they're stuck down. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go.
We're talking about that pen, and that's kind of what you can do. Just abuse the walls. You know where they're going to be able to come from. And so you just cover an angle there just by spraying through with that LMG. But that was a great lurk play and also just great team play. We saw the breach utility coming out, and that just forced a lot of the angles from Dominguez Hills, and you saw the peak coming immediately afterwards. So great trust in the team, great utilization of the abilities there coming out from breach. We're still seeing why he is such a strong pick right now, still definitely within the S tier. And one thing I haven't talked about yet is just that UCI are running triple flash, by the way. And so they've got 3 blinds with the Omen, with the Breach, and along with that Reyna. And so their utility is almost unmatched in this composition.
And the Reyna, the Reyna flash is a little different than the traditional flashes. The way she works with that eyeball demands players kind of shoot that and can work out real well. Sova trying to clear out Garage here, allowing his team to bust on through and make their way to C. CSUDH really need to make it happen. So here comes Infinity popping the ult, and that's going to be immediately punished by BT in the corner. Wall goes up to stop the ult from being able to find shots. And CSUDH get the spike planted only the second time, but even then, they haven't been able to convert.
Still a 1v2, and the Brim had no HP, but at least they had the crossfire set up for him, and so Dino finishes that off. But they had to commit so much into that. We got to see there was a defender on C, and he ended up going down to the Brimstone ultimate there.
Yeah.
And so at that point, CSUDH, they had to commit almost everything into that fight just to get their first round win here. The economy of UCI is still sitting pretty, and they're going to be able to essentially just buy out for the rest of this half as we have 4 rounds left.
Yeah, I think we can actually go to a listen in. I'd like to listen into Dominguez Hills as they approach this next round.
Your duty is not over. Train harder.
Well, unsure if you guys actually got a chance to hear the players, but that one didn't go their way. UCI are able to come out and get the defuse, but Jamerson, this is a positive here. Dominguez Hills, they actually get the spike planted down, so they're able to break the sites, something that wasn't working out for them before.
Yeah, and so that will be their second plant, but again, at this point, it's still a lot of damage control. Their economy is in shambles right now.
Right.
We've got 3 rounds left in the half, and we saw UCI almost full money on about 2 players. So like I said, they're going to be able to completely buy out, even if Dominguez Hills gets the next few rounds in a row. But with this broken economy, they don't have much to work with. Looter starts it all off. Dizzy goes down first.
It's going to start the 5-on-4, but Dominguez Hills still looks to push the A site. The rotations coming out from UCI as they completely abandon the C site. Ryun, the one trying to play anchor, and he's going to be flanked out just a little bit. Picks one off from the front side, flashed out, able to find a kill despite the fact BT picks up 1, but it's a little bit too late. 4 players still standing for UCI as they grab their 9th round.
We did get to see the Phoenix buff there, that 0.8 seconds to 1.1 seconds now on the flash. And so, I don't know, there wasn't much else to say because in that round, Ryan just ended up getting that flank, and he had all the time in the world to work with. He took a few shots, and they went completely unanswered before they finally turned around. So Dominguez Hill was a little bit slow on the uptake here, but now take a look. Platinum wants to get super aggressive.
Yeah, and I don't mind this play. Right up front with the Reyna, gonna turn the lights out real quick, pick up one through the wall, but BT is able to trade it out 4-on-4. A couple of shots from Sage in the mid to assist her team, but won't be able to find the kill as the smokes come down towards B.
An interesting thing here, I would say, for the UCI defense, other than, of course, that swap over for the Cypher and Omen playing on A side, is the Breach solo on C is absolutely absurd. The kind of CC that he's able to offer across map because of just the large distances his abilities are, it makes sense that he can actually play over there right now. We do have smokes going down, and it looks like it is going to be an A push coming out from Dominguez Hills.
Pushing right on through. There's a smoke, there's a slow, and a secondary smoke, but a nibbler on the other side. Not 3, but 4 shots and 4 kills. Defenders again keep it tight. And it's double digits for Irvine, 10-1.
Anyone who watches Futurama knows how voracious Nibbler is, and he's proving it here right now. 18-1-9. Oh my god. That is absurd.
That's my official analysis, just me cackling laughter. I mean, to have 1 death is just absurd.
It really is. And take a look at just how aggressive that they're able to play. And they've been largely unanswered here over at Long A, where Looter at least always trades away. He's never gone down. The initial frag is always going to UCI, so it's just a straight push onto C.
Infinity flashes to the left and doesn't even look in that direction. A real gutsy call there as Ryun shoots through everything, picks up 2. Still stuck on the backside, and the Molotov will eventually take the life. 4 players still standing for UCI as Infinity dies trying to enter. There's the 5th kill. And it's number 11, just like that. We're 2 away from the game.
Yeah, so we're going to swap sides here. So there's a chance, at least, for Dominguez Hills to get a bit more rounds on the board, right? This pistol round. But last time we saw, I forget, it was Nibbler, right? Who just absolutely destroyed. And, you know, that's where things just get absolutely flipped. When we change sides here, every read that you've had from the first half is completely gone. Right, the dynamic is completely different. So anything that Dominguez Hills might have learned in the last 12 rounds, they mean nothing here. And now they have less time to work with to try and figure out UCI's game plan and how to play around that. They weren't able to figure it out on the offense, and now they have less time to try and figure it out here on the defense.
Coming in here for our collegiate fight night. This is going to be a single game set. UCI and CSUDH, the winner of this, UCI leaning in that direction, will go on to play the winner of our next match. That's going to be ASU versus CSU, and then that'll be a single game set. And then after that, the winners will play a best of 3. Flashes in as one more time. We see the pistols come in trying to break the A site. Ryun grabs one, Nibbler grabs the other. Spike starting to be planted as the rotation comes from Dominguez Hills. Trying to play D.
See how practiced UCI are. They're just pre-firing a lot of these angles. They smoke things off and just pre-fire the angles, and they were ending up getting the kills on that. At least Infinity finally answers back, but it's still a 3v4 on the retake here as he goes down. Now it's all up to 1. It's just Dino left alive.
Big plays there this time around, but the upper hand doesn't belong to the one in the upper level. Shots coming down, attackers win. 1 away.
Yeah, UCI sitting on match point, and in such a dominant fashion as well. Taking a look at the score once again, 21-9 for Nibbler, Ryun at 15-4-6, Looter at 14-5-4. This is absolutely absurd. We've only basically played half the rounds available throughout an entire game, but we've got 4 players on double digits, and you know, you can't fault that the bottom fragger for UCI. He just hasn't had as much action, and also just Nibbler killing everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's only 5 players to kill, folks. So at least he's above sea level. 5 and 3 for the bottom fragger on UCI. I believe that's Zig. But C site seems to be the spot, and Zig will send BT home. And another one for UCI as Ryun picks that one up. Everybody knows about C, so CSUDH has made their rotation. Back to the wall, still able to find it though. Dino and Disley pick up 1, but it doesn't matter. Still standing.
Bucky was a little bit too far that time around. Babe not going to be able to get it. Now, we all know how strong the Bucky is, but that just distance doesn't work out for the right click there. And so, you know, congratulations to UCI for taking that win. It was a very dominant one for them. at this point. But like I said, UCI have a long history in esports, and the type of structure and foundation that they have is absolutely absurd. So they have a lot more support than most other teams have.
I want to point something out. Econ rating. That's a complicated stat. That might be a complicated stat. How much you know about this stat is largely irrelevant. Nibbler has over 300 and no one else is over 90. That's got to be insane. Whether you know the stat or not, it has a lot to do with how much money you spend per kill. So if you don't die often and you buy lower end guns, blah, 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 blah. He's over 300, Jamerson.
Yeah. Also, taking a look at the combat score, to have 3 players over 300 as well, and then your bottom fragger is at 122. So it goes to show like how much that they were absolutely just dominating throughout this match. All respect to both sides, but UCI showing that they are on a class of their own currently.
Absolutely, like you said, sort of the support for the team coming from the college as well, kind of really helping them bolster that situation over there in dominating fashion. Like you said, shout outs to Dominguez Hills. They were able to kind of improve as we saw the game go on. They got just dominated in the early rounds, and then towards the mid game, we saw them breaking the sights a little bit more, eventually getting some spikes down, but it was just too much from Irvine. What I do question, though, as Irvine goes on to play in our best of 3 after our next single game set, is we didn't really get to see them play the counterattack, the retake too much. They were always in the lead. How do you think this team responds when put under pressure?
Yeah, that is actually a great question. We really didn't get to see much else out of them. There are a few things that we did learn, and I was watching chat as well throughout all of this. I know that there are some ASU students that will be competing who are also scouting this game out, and so I think they've learned a bit about UCI at the very least. And so one thing we'll note is that not investing after taking that pistol round and try to stretch that economy a little bit more might be something that ASU can try to take advantage of. Or was that just UCI playing a little bit differently here because they kind of understand the strength of their opponent? Will they give more respect once we get to the best of 3?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, once I mentioned that, I think 6 rounds in or so, about how UCI was kind of like, all right, we have control of this match. This should be ours. Like, if you're a competitive player, at that point, you're sitting there and you go, look, we're better than them. We should win this match. How much of our hand do we want to show? Because we've got to play matches later. So how much can we keep it here behind the chest, or should we share that information? Speaking of which, us here at Wisdom Valorant put together a bunch of videos. You should check out our YouTube. It's pretty dope. We love to share the information. Here's an example of what we got going on. We'll be right back with the next match.